You're certain he wanted us all to come?
Have you ever seen anything so awe-inspiring? Behold the power of my god!
Watcher, I wasn't sure you'd make it. But there is enough of you in me to grasp that you had a better chance than most. Some would say it's because you have a strong soul. Great deeds come easily to one so spiritually blessed. Or have you become great because of what has been thrust upon you, Watcher of Cadnua, Herald of Berith, Hound of Aethys?
Oh my god, you're really, this can't,
I see you, Shodi. I am glad that we could meet, even if it is under quite unpleasant circumstances.
This is really happening, right? Gon, your humble priestess is before you. Please, tell me what you require of me. How do I save more lost souls than I can carry in one lifetime?
Face bright red, sweat beading her brow, Shodi stumbles precariously closer to the edge. Lantern rattling, she catches herself, a mere moment before she would have toppled over.
I know that you have undertaken a noble mission, but I will tell you what I told the Watcher. You need not fear for the lost souls of this world. As for you, Watcher, why is it you believe you have made it this far? As would we all. But you have come a great distance for answers. What would you ask of me, Watcher?
That we have, and I got a request. Down here. Gon, look how full my lantern is. I've been harvesting day and night for you, my god.
Lantern rattling, sickle gripped so tight her knuckles are white. She waves her arms over her head as she shouts.
My dear Shodi, I do not mean to diminish your presence here. But this is a question that the Watcher needs to answer. She alone was tasked with pursuing me. The gods have placed her in this fire. It is only right that we speak together now. No, not now. Not in your lifetime. Perhaps in 100 generations, the books and tongues of Kith will forget the name Aethys. A penance, paid in full, noted by none. That would be my absolution.
You're just gonna wait for us to forget what you did? That's your penance?
Adair stands in a broad posture, the one he so often takes when placing himself between friend and foe. His neck is sharply craned to meet the unblinking stare of his god.
How about you start by giving back the souls you took? Or maybe by apologizing to every one of your followers, especially the ones that died for you.
The molten rock of Magrin's teeth gleams bright orange in his eyes, and he looks like a man overtaken by a furious spirit.
You owe this Watcher here. You owe my brother Woden, and every last one of us that ever followed you. And you owe me. I never asked you for much, but you owe me better than what you're given.
I cannot atone for my mistakes with words alone, Adair. I know this now. It is why I began this journey and why I must move on. But you have come here for other answers. Why I have returned, where I am going. Am I answering to you, or to Berith? And it would seem even she whose presence shakes the heart of this mountain needs to know. Of course. Mogren fears what I will do, just as she feared what I would do in the Deerwood. But this time is different. This time, there is no power on Aora or in all of hell to stop me. Understand that what I'm saying is neither a boast nor a challenge. It is the clearest statement of truth I can give you, give Berith, in the hopes of dissuading you from taking actions that may harm others. Yes, I am sacrificing lives from this generation for the benefit of those who have not yet been born. The other gods may be willing to make similar sacrifices, but they will be in vain. I am going to force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another, and all the powers of hell cannot drive me from this course. It seems my sister does not like the sound of that. I want to return the gods to our original purpose, and to allow mortals to worship us, or ignore us, for what we are, not what we pretend to be.
Shodi gasps sharply, for once too stunned to blurt out a response. Her eyes are wild, with too much white showing, when she glances from Aethys to you.
Whatever you're doing, there's gotta be a better way.
When I entered Widewin, I did so with the intention of illuminating the history of Anguith. I wanted to show all the nations of the Eastern Reach the machines we had used to create ourselves, how we had hidden our true nature from mortals for millennia. But even if I had succeeded, my words would have been easy to deny. Belief creates the foundation upon which a mind's reality is built. Some minds can never let go of that foundation. They would rather hold tight to the world in their mind than accept what they're being told. I have not come to speak, to convince, to plead, but to break the foundations of belief itself, to extinguish the lights that maintain the illusions we have created. We took on the mantles of gods from legends, and in so doing, made real what was false, crafted truth from fiction. The time has come for a new covenant between gods and mortals. One forged in the light of truth and understanding between our kind. I will leave this place and go to the lost city the Huana call Ukaizo. It is there that all souls pass through the machines of the gods, where all souls pass into the beyond before beginning their next life. When I reach that place, I will find our great machines and tear them to pieces. I will smash the great wheel until the lights of hell all gutter and die. And when my work is done, I will leave this world forever.
More destruction. You're tearing the whole world apart because you can't make peace among yourselves.
Adair, there will never be peace among mortals, so long as they are unwittingly manipulated by the gods. The divine enslavement that Woodica reveres perpetuates ignorance, chaos, and violence across the world. I only wish to destroy the darkness that surrounds the gods, that you may better see us for what we are. I'm surprised Mogren is reacting this way. I would have thought she would appreciate a trial of this magnitude, one that tests us all. Both gods and mortals alike rely on the wheel. We depend on it for the souls that give us power. Mortals depend on it for the lives of future generations. Breaking it will force all of us to face the truth. We will fail together or move forward together. Either ending is preferable to the cycle we still find ourselves in.
Gone, wait! Before it's too late, you gotta take the souls I harvested for you.
The priestess thrusts her light-pulsing lantern outward, as if waiting for Aethys to take it from her.
They are not for me to take. Shodi, you are their guardian now. You are their protector. You have taken responsibility for them, and only you can decide their fate. Once again, the gods have put you in a precarious position, Watcher. Considering all the troubles I have put you through, the least I can do is protect you from the wrath Magrin has intended for me. Perhaps I will have another opportunity to make amends. Until then, this will have to do. Brace yourself, Watcher.
Guys and gals, we are literally being touched by the hand of Gone right now.
Despite herself, Shodi squeals. Trembling, she sways on her feet as if she might faint.
Hey, Aethys. We're not done here. You and I, we're not finished. Don't think you can just move me aside like all the rest. Maybe you can't be stopped. But on behalf of everyone you've trampled, betrayed, and ignored, I'll be coming to see you again.
Adair spits. In the surging heat, it never reaches the ground.
Perhaps we will meet again, Adair. Until then, take care of the Watcher.
Aethys's great hand floats away from the luminous Audra pillar. As it pulls back, for a brief moment you see a golden tether flash into existence between the pillar and the great Titan's back. When the Audra fingers gently cradle you, there is first a sensation of warmth, but it is followed by a harsh splitting of consciousness. Your awareness vacillates erratically between the physical world and the spiritual dimension of Aethys's body. Your soul glides amid the many trapped with Aethys. As your brilliant form passes by them, they call and reach out for help. Below Aethys's body, the volcano erupts. Molten rock rushes over the great Audra body, but does not slow its movement. Rathun rush to higher ground, but cannot outpace the lava, which overwhelms and consumes them as it rises. Your attention returns to the heart of Aethys's body. Deep within the whirling masses of souls, you again sense your own presence, the fragment that was taken from you. This time, you reach out to it as it reaches out to you. You meet somewhere in the great mass of Audra, the rest of the souls fading at the edge of your awareness. We are together again. Are you ready to be together again? Since we've parted, you've become someone else. I have become myself. When we join, we won't be ourselves anymore. Your senses yank back to your body, still in Aethys's hand. There is light, sunlight. He has emerged from Ashen Maw, the rim of the volcano and the great keep of the Rathun collapsing behind him. The Audra is barely visible through the thick lava covering his body, and still, he moves. The ocean is gone, water sucked away, leaving only the bare seabed glistening in an ominous silence. You summon the strength to turn your head. Through the cracks in the great god's fingers, you see a wall of water, taller than Nekataka, taller than Aethys, as tall as the moon. It comes with the rumbling of a terrible stampede. The wave slams into Aethys. His hand closes, protecting you from the devastation. Somewhere in your mind, you hear Andra screaming. You are back inside him. back with yourself. Are you still the same Watcher who returned the lost souls of the Deerwood to their intended bodies? A light shines within the soul as it observes you, waiting. I am. Good. Then this should be easy. You feel cool air, seawater. The back of your mind pulls your attention back to your body. Aethys stands amid the now calm waves. Kraken futilely clinging to his limbs as he gingerly sets down your ship with one hand. He carefully opens his other, setting your body on the deck. As your head comes to rest, your vision rocks forward, pulled back into the Audra, back to your soul. Some of us is lost to him. Fragments and the empty spaces between them. They will always be a part of him. But we are still us. And it's time for us to go. Together. The soul rushes toward you, flying into you with ferocious speed. You are thrust back through the Audra, out of the palm of Aethys' hand, back into your body. You can feel the sensation of your skin, the warmth of the Audra, but you are not fully in control. The other soul struggles to reach the surface of the body's consciousness, but you pull it down. Entangled, you float in a dark, boundless expanse. The more you fight each other, the closer you become, until somehow, impossibly, every piece of you is touching every piece of them. Through the distant window of your eyes, you see Aethys push slowly against your ship. Though his touch is light, it is still the touch of a god. The ship lurches, rapidly tearing across the water southward. His hand pulls away from your ship's wake, his body straightening, towering overhead. The volcanic rock, now cooled and gently steaming, sloughs from his body as he moves. The Audra beneath is still immaculate, unmarred. He watches you depart, and you hear a voice in your mind as you sink deeper into the blackness of sleep.
Tell them what you have witnessed, Watcher. Tell them what is coming.
The windows of your eyes retreat into the distance. The fragment of your soul is so close to you in the darkness that you can't tell if its thoughts are separate from your own. Aethys is going to Ukaizo? He's going to stop at the wheel? Aethys is going to Ukaizo. Aethys is going to Ukaizo. Is going to stop at the wheel. The words repeat in your mind until they become an incessant, meaningless mantra. Involuntary meditation in the emptiness of your unconscious. When the words finally dissolve and become part of the darkness, you see a pinpoint of light. You no longer sense the other soul. No longer sense the person you were before Aethys touched you. You swim toward the light. As you come closer, the light becomes two blurry spots of radiance. You settle in behind your eyes and feel your lips already moving, mumbling. Around your body you sense familiar scents and sounds, voices raised in shock and alarm. You take control of your mouth, opening it wide and drawing a great breath.
Are we simply going to wait? What if she never wakes up?
Are those frilled collars stuffed in your ears? If the Watcher's mumblings are right, then Aethys is marching on Ukaizo. We have to move. He's seizing power from the very gods who betrayed him, destroying the wheel to make sure they never come back. It's a coup, and we have to muster the strength to stop it.
The unraveling of Kohopa from Tangaloa is our greatest test from the gods, I say. We must live to deserve the world they make for us.
Ah, you're awake. Welcome back, Watcher. Your arrival in the wake of the eruption at Magrin's Teeth was alarming. You shared a great deal while you were asleep. We aren't sure what to make of it.
It seems you've been talking in your sleep about Aethys' plan to destroy the wheel. Our friends here are understandably concerned.
Join our talks, I say. Rational discussion will gust away the ominous smoke rising from Ashen Maw. The Deadfire is no stranger to cataclysm. We can survive by cleaving to a shared purpose, a greater good, Akira. For what else did the gods place us here? We who have ships and resources enough to make a difference.
What we need is brass. Rawatai has ships and cannons aplenty, but the only way I'm sending them is if...
Ships have formed the blockade around Queen's Berth. Their commander demands parley with Serpent's Crown.
What? But what about our ships? I must get a message through to the captains.
For what do our enemies paint a target on their hull? This is a stirring bid for my attention. Send word to my water shapers to drain the sea around the flagship. I would parley on better terms than this.
My queen! They fly the colors of pirates! The Principi are...
Well, what have we here? Forgive me, lovesome, but it looks like you're having a party. A rather fine one to which you didn't invite me.
You painted vagrants are a plague on my tribes. Why should I not hang you from the walls of my garden?
You should be asking yourself how they got in here in the first place.
Oh, I do love when they squabble. But I'm here for neither pleasantries nor entertainment. We've bigger fish to fry. Or should I say gods? Now everyone just calm down. I promise we won't fire on you at this time. Unless firstly provoked. That is, until once we've safely absconded from the city back to the high seas. Then all bets are off again, aye?
Yes, well, if you have a point, pirate, I suggest you reach it quickly.
We're supposed to take a bunch of pirates at their word?
Right you are. However, I'm here because I've got questions, ones that can't wait. And the Lovesome Watcher's the only one likely to answer them nicely.
Perkamplanka, this is nonsense. I have no intention of letting Ukaizo fall into the hands of plunderers and thieves.
Ukaizo? What's the lost city of gold got to do with a god on a rampage? Well, fuck if that doesn't put things into perspective. But what's that even mean in the long run? Folks who die won't be coming back again. This is all dark and foreboding sounding. But what's it mean for my soul? I mean, I like the idea of pirating throughout the Great Beyond as much as the next gal. But if, say, I got no awareness after I die, does it even matter what happens?
Ak, of course you have no interest past that of your eyes and your stomach. Let us speak now of what can be done. Must be done. Watcher, you know best of all of us what our options are. But, Watcher, you must have some solution. Some insight, at least. A weakness, or...
We have to act quickly. Defending Ukaizo is the highest priority. Our ships are fast and well-equipped. We could sail to the edge of Andra's mortar. See if Aethys' passage opens a way through the storms. Of course, finding Ukaizo once we're through is another matter. That's so. You just might be able to save us.
We speak of collectively sailing for Andra's mortar, but this crown will not support any plan that involves a single outsider ship landing on the shores of Ukaizo. It is for this moment that the gods test me. Anyone who seeks to cross Andra's mortar will learn that the gates of Ukaizo are the end of compromise with the Huana.
I think I'm getting the gist of it now. While these witless princocks go at each other's throats, we Principi will cut through the storms and plunder the City of Gold. Whatever Aethys is seeking in those ruins, we'll find it, and then we'll sell it to the highest bidder. That, or me and mine will have front row seats to the end of the world.
If the Huana cannot take back our beginning, then our end fast approaches. The gods will judge us by our devotion to Ukaizo.
Are you going to guard it as closely as you've guarded your palace today? Ukaizo was yours once, and you lost it. Meanwhile, the storms that cover Andra's mortar plague Rauatai too. We will help the Watchers stop Aethys, but we will not leave our country's future in soft hands. We hope the Watcher agrees.
Watcher, there are two kinds of people in the Deadfire. Those who have called it home since time immemorial, and opportunists. With Ukaizo under our control, the Huana would restore order as it has not been seen since the days of our ancestors.
Ak, order. And the only question is whether it will be the order of ignorance and tradition, or else of conquest. The secrets to be found in Ukaizo could elevate us all beyond the telling. I will not relinquish that dream so easily.
Watcher, I say the time to play at freelancing is at an end. Any of us could get you to Ukaizo, but only one of us will stand by your side.
Let's speak, Watcher, while we
All
have
this
the
chasing
chance.
after Aethys. It's brought back memories of the Saints' War. Just how scared everyone was, mostly. Everybody put on a brave face, made all these claims about what they'd do when they met a god in battle. There was no sadder sight than a group of us talking big, trying to outdo one another. Even the fella that led us, he used to say he knew all these different ways you could kill a god, if you were so inclined. Of course, at night he'd grind his teeth so hard it sounded like he was chewing rocks, in case you were curious if he really had it in him. I wouldn't have traded him. The ones that died, most of them died brave. The ones that lived, well, they earned it. Point being, the prospect of facing a god makes cowards of most all of us. Now, here I am again, on my way to meet Aethys. Some ways I feel the same. Edgy, sick in my gut. But it's different this time. Might be because of you. We haven't gone to pieces yet, for one thing. At least not on the outside. You could have let it all end back at Cadnua, or even Gilded Vale. But you're still going, even knowing where we're headed. Haven't forgot who you are. There's part of me thinks we aren't gonna make it out of this. When I get to thinking like that, it helps to remember how you've held together. What do you think? We gonna survive all this? Whether or not I believe it, I like it just the same. Yeah, I go back and forth myself. Every time we see one of those big footprints, it reminds me not to get too excited. There's a good chance we die out here, halfway across the world from anywhere I ever called home. But if I can face it like you, maybe it doesn't matter. I mean it. Don't know where I'd be right now if you hadn't come through Gilded Vale that day. Something else I wanted to ask you. It's about Alava's boy. Well, I was thinking. He's out there, all on his own. Didn't seem like there was anyone even noticed he left to join that cult. I expect if he's left as he is, could be things don't end well for him. I thought, maybe when we're done with all this, if we make it out, I was thinking maybe I should go back there. See if there's something to be done. You got any thoughts on that? Yeah, I don't think I'd feel right if all I did was to leave him the same way I found him. I guess I might be staying in Deadfire a little longer than I thought. Anyway, time being, we got our work cut out for us. I'll tell you what, though. I'm not one for big promises. But I'm gonna beat up as many people and monsters as it takes to get you your life back. You got my word on that.
Ahoy, Cap. Bend your ear a tick. Shody seems a right fine lass and all, but, well, she asked me to pick around in the forts. Told her I didn't see nothing. Aye. Or if I touched her mind for a second, I ain't seen its like before. Sometimes, old sorts get nightmares so that I can't bunk around them. But they usually ain't this flavor of apocalyptic. Right, fair point, Cap.
I say it is not every day that a ship pulls into port from Margaret's teeth. You are not too singed, I hope. Our enemies scramble for Kaizo, dropping all pretense of strategy in their panic and haste. Ikera, both topics.
I'm here.
What for, Cap?
I know that look. I'm still trying to make sense of it. To think that Aethys would destroy the wheel. Meanwhile, the gods squabble over what to do next. They're no better than the scheming authorities here. Encountering the Wahaki has forced me to face some uncomfortable truths. There was a time when I would have mourned that knowledge, but not now. Thank you.
How may I help?
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do?
How may I help?
What's on your mind? It doesn't seem much different than Theos and Woodica, does he? Powerful beings thinking they know what's best for us, not caring the costs we pay. Starting to think we'd be better off without the gods. At least we'd know the messes were our own.
Tell me.
I'm all ears. Tell me what's on your mind. We talking during the Saints' War? Then you mean gone. He ain't what he was. No need to fiddle-foot around. Not a one. I never knew nothingness could... No need to fiddle-foot... Sure thing, Watcher. happy to oblige. Lavaru, be on seek!
As you wish.
Anything. Lavaru, beyond seek.
Hey, that wasn't half bad.
Aye. Like flogging a figurehead. Futile. I'd be cleaving it to the brisket.
Back! Back where you came from!
Captain. Consider it right
Hey.
fucked.
What can I do you for? Lavaru, be on seek!
Tell me. Thick worth and rough.
Oh, that were a beaut.
I'll make it.
Mo Ixie Honest!
Yes? Thick worth and rough.
Nothing I can do. I can hold out. Yeah!
What for, Cap?
What do you need?
Tell me.
All right.
I'm here. Yes. What can I do?
Hmm? How may I help?
No mercy!
Captain.
Hey,
Yeah? Time to separate the chaff. That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
how may I help?
Ahoy.
Yes? What can I do? Yeah? Get threshed! That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
What do you need?
What for, Cap?
Yeah? Time to separate the chaff. Yes? Stand together!
Oh?
Yeah!
Hmm?
Captain. Only takes a finger to blow her away.
What can I do you for? That was about as
Yes?
useful as a bump on a pickle.
What do you need?
Happily. Of course.
You find yourself in cold, suffocating darkness. There is a familiar weight in your hand. A lantern. It sputters to life, and the world shifts into focus. A staircase spirals endlessly below you. With nowhere else to go, you start down. A wave of blistering heat hits you. Then a sea salt wind. Divine voices boom and screech. Their words shake the platform beneath you, shake the very air around you. The gods are fighting.
Lay your blame elsewhere, Wodica. I won't suffer your arguments any longer.
Mogren looms large before you, an accusing finger leveled at the melted visage of Wodica. Wodica screws her mouth into a sneer.
You fool! If only we had attacked him when I first proposed it.
Accusations drip bitter as bile from her tongue.
Even the Kith loses patience with you, Wodica.
The pallid knight looks down at you, a frown etched deep in her otherwise statue-still features.
I am afraid we are not at our best.
The Watchers return. Perhaps we should hear what she has to say.
Helia's birds chatter anxiously among themselves. Wal's many eyes alight on each god in turn.
We make little enough progress on our own.
We try, but agreement eludes us.
Andra's storm-dark eyes swivel to meet yours.
Is there nothing we can do?
Mogren glances at the pallid knight from the corner of her eye. After a thoughtful pause, she speaks.
The time has come for us to seize the power we have long left untouched and absorb our scattered children.
Andra nods, her lure bobbing bright.
Terrible though it would be, perhaps you are right.
I did, and I was scolded like a child for my terrible audacity.
A curl of steam rises from her nose. The pallid knight looks on, impassive.
Should we be killed in our god forms, we can possess you, our godlike children. Or should we face a force too powerful to stand against, we can absorb your souls, granting us additional strength. Yes, your life and thousands of others would be forfeit to serve the greater good.
The pallid knight speaks with the chilly temperance possessed only by the god of death.
We are your gods, forged of thousands upon thousands of willing souls sacrificed on the altar of progress. Yes, our good is greater, but the time for that plan has long passed us by.
Are we to keep nothing for ourselves? Not a single secret retained? Not a solitary mystery?
Mogren elbows one of Wal's floating eyes away.
Aethys will lay bare our every secret soon enough. What is one or two revealed now? But we get ahead of ourselves. First, the Watcher must get to Kaizo, and that will be a trial all its own.
Mogren smiles.
And more are yet to come.
The Guardian of Ukaizo has stood watch over that place for millennia. It will not stand aside, not even for Bareth's herald.
Helia, who had been lost in quiet, anxious conversation with her birds, breaks in.
It yet lives.
Of course. Our progenitors crafted it.
A pair of Helia's finches come to join Wal's floating eye. They hover just out of Mogren's reach and swoop in to poke her when she's not looking.
And the Watcher will be forced to reckon with it if she wishes to confront Aethys.
The birds at last linger too long, and Mogren slaps them away. They burst into a cloud of essence, then reform and fly in a screeching chorus back to Helia.
A creature crafted by the Ingwithans to protect the machinery of reincarnation. It doesn't care much for visitors.
Will you divulge our every secret to the Kith, Mogren?
Mogren shrugs.
If it suits me.
Go prepared, Watcher. The Guardian will not stand aside, not even for the Herald of Bareth. It is not one of Galawain's mindless beasts. It has a heart and a mind, and it will throw neither away to oppose Aethys. And Aethys will not fight the creature. It would prove little more than a distraction for him, especially as my tsunami and Mogren's volcano couldn't stop him.
There is another topic we have yet to address.
The Pallid Knight holds up one gauntleted hand, and the other gods fall silent.
Tell me, Watcher, where do you stand?